Hey internet, guess what? Big things just happened. I came out this weekend. Woo! And by came out, I mean like officially to everyone, and it's freaking exciting. So I thought I would talk about that. So, if you saw my last video, you know that I planned to come out to my dad when I was going to the Trans Ohio Transgender and Ally Conference, and I did, like a BAMF. It actually went pretty well. At least when I talked to him, it went pretty well. I mean, I'll get into how it's going now, but yeah, I had a talk with him in the car, and I was really. It took me most of the car ride to build up the courage to do it, but we were like like 15 minutes away from where I was going to be, and I'm like, Dad, so, you may be wondering, why I wanted to go to this trans conference in the first place. And so I just laid it out on the line. And, I mean, I didn't explain to him all of, like, these are the intricacies of my gender identity. But, I told him, how I'd been feeling. I told him that I was struggling, with my gender identity. And then later I clarified that struggling meant that I actually wasn't really confused at all. And I for the first time actually like had some clarity, and he took it really well, and to my surprise he like immediately asked me if I wanted him to call me something different. And at the time I was more shaken up about it than he was, and so I didn't say anything. But yeah, and so the reason I'm so excited is just because it's such a fucking weight off my shoulders. Super nice, and I was lucky because he agreed to talk to my mom. I mean, I've talked to her since, but he agreed to talk to her first, so I didn't have to deal with all that shit because I wasn't looking forward to it. And so I spent the weekend at this conference, and it was a wonderful fucking experience. It was awesome, because I'm like at a school. Oh, this is Bartholomew, by the way. He's back. Ooh, he feels fuzzy on my feet. Anyway, sorry, I got bare feet right here. And I was staying at a hostel, actually. Which my parents had all these reservations about. They were like, a hostel? What is that? It was awesome. The first night it was like packed full of people, and so, some people were better than others, but I didn't get to, talk to them that much. But they were all really nice people. One guy snored a little bit, and it made it kind of hard for me to sleep on the first night, but whatever. But there's one guy who kind of sort of lives there right now because he's saving up for his own place and he's working a job and everything. And we had talked a lot because we're like living in the same house for a couple days. And he was a really nice guy, so why not? And so I mean, I know I was probably read as a butch lesbian, but I had to talk about why I was there, and so he knew that I was trans and everything, and he did she me once, but then I mentioned that I was trans again later, and he's like, oh, I meant to say, you identify with male pronouns, right? And I was like, yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry I called you she, and he was just a really nice guy. It was just nice. But yeah, and the conference was awesome, and I met so many cool people, and the thing was that after this whole weekend of just meeting people who knew what the fuck I was going through, who I didn't have to educate, and who it made fucking sense to, I just was so affirmed, and it was so just refreshing, and I felt so free. I felt like things made sense, and I felt like I was finally in a community that I belonged to. And after that whole weekend of doing that, I just didn't see the need to frickin' hide anymore. And so since I had already come out to my dad, I figured that I might as well just make it official and, come out on Facebook and change my name. After a whole weekend of being so out, I didn't want to just crawl back into a box. And so I put my big coming out status, and it made a really big hubbub on Facebook, but it was a good hubbub. I was so, like, I can't even tell you, I was so fucking nervous about this, and I was just, hoping that people would still, like me, and that status got 42 people that fucking liked it, and then I got, like, a million comments that were all positive, like, it was all, like, amazing, and then, like, all these people who I didn't even expect even cared about what the fuck happened in my life, like, came out and said that they, like, supported me and that I was really brave and shit. I mean, trans people hear that a lot, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything brave or that I deserve any accolades because of it, but it was really cool. Actually, I'll read you some of the comments because they were just fucking awesome. Like, Christian Howes, my jazz violin instructor, says, I have all the respect in the world for you, Katie, because I hadn't changed my name on Facebook yet, because I came out and then I changed my name. And I think it's very courageous for you to come out. Then someone else said, you always continue to amaze and impress me, and have my deep respect, as always. And actually, the thing which did it for me, the thing which really did it for me, there's this kid who I used to sit next to in orchestra. He was a lot younger than I am, but he was my stand partner for like 2 years. And I kind of like took him under my wing, you know? And he posted on another status that I made. He says, I don't know if this matters to you or not, but you will always be one of the people I want to grow up to be like. Thanks for being a person I can look up to. And I was like, and by I meant that I was like fucking bawling at this point. Like I was legit crying. And I've never like cried so much from being so happy before. It was like gah. So yeah, like right now, like my coming out couldn't be going really any better. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of people like from school yet. I haven't talked to my roommate yet. The girl who's gonna be my new roommate. I actually feel really bad because I'm like putting a lot on her, you know? Because first it was the whole lesbian thing, and then it was the whole hey, I'm trans thing. And she's like, shit, who the fuck is this person I'm gonna be living with? So I feel bad, but I mean, what am I gonna do? I can't not be who I am. I mean, I'm just sick of it. But yeah. And, I mean, I have encountered some problems. Like, my mom was really, according to my dad, she was really iffy about it at first. And said something to the effect of, you know, oh, I just got used to the whole gay thing. Now I gotta do this. And my dad was like, yeah. You know, and from what I understand, he laid it out pretty flat for her. He's like, you know, you've either gotta accept what's going on, or, you know, you're gonna drive your kid away. And that's straight up true. Like, I watched a video a while ago, by a trans guy that I follow on YouTube, and he said some very good things. He said, you know, if your family, that is your, like, biological blood family, if they can't respect you or call you by the right name and pronoun, then you don't fucking need them. Then they're not your family. They're the people who judge you, and they're the people who make your life harder and who aren't affirming, and you don't fucking need that. You don't need your family. I mean, it sounds really cold, but it's true. And I straight up told my dad that. I said, I don't want it to come to that point. But, you know, if you can't respect me and if you can't accept me, then, I mean, that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna leave one day and I'm gonna never come back. So, yeah, you know, it's your choice. And my mom straight up and said that the pronoun thing was gonna be hard for her, but I'm not gonna expect them to get it in one day, so at least for now, I'm pretty okay with the situation with my parents. In fact, the only really like animosity that I've gotten is from queer folks who think that they know more about trans than I do. Right now, if you can't tell, like I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about my life now. I'm really excited about being part of the trans community now, because I feel like for the first time in my life, it's a place where I actually fit. You know, it's a place that feels right. I was telling my dad today that, you know, before I was in Spectrum, which is our, like, GLBT alliance thing, and while I knew that I belonged in Spectrum, I felt like the identity that I was representing, which was, at different times, lesbian and pansexual and whatnot, I felt like I was a puzzle piece that was, like, turned the wrong way, you know? Like, I didn't quite fit, even though I knew that I fit somewhere on the puzzle. And now, like, for the first time, I'm not feeling confused. And for the first time, I feel good about where I'm at and the community that I'm in, and I fucking love the trans community. Like, I met so many awesome, just amazing, gorgeous people. Because trans people are fucking sexy, I'm not gonna lie. This weekend, and I'm just excited. And I was telling my friend about it, and I was telling my friend how I had some concerns with cis people not really being able to relate to my experiences, and she said that I was trying too hard to fit into a certain community and that I was excluding myself from the rest of the world. Uh, and that I was just going to end up sad and lonely because of it. And, that really put a damper on my whole, exciting coming out experience. But, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with being excited that I just have this tremendous weight lifted off my shoulders and I can finally just get on with my life. I feel like I'm finally, like, I have a clear vision of exactly where I want to go and who I want to be and what I want to do. I feel like now I'm in a position where I can just go on with my life and live. And I'm excited about that. And I don't see what's wrong with that. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to put a damper on the exciting news because I'm freaking excited. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not going to be easy, especially going back to school will be interesting. There's a couple people that I'm concerned about, including my roommate. I'm sorry, Jen, I'm really not a fucking freak. I'm a nice person. I just wanted you to know what was going on if you see me binding, and I wanted you to call me the right name. But yeah, I will stop rambling, and yeah, and I will edit this video. Awesome. So yeah, yeah, that's my news, guys. Yay! I have a really awesome video that's planned coming up, so woo. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Goodbye, and don't forget to be awesome.